Okay. So big news has just dropped. Obviously, we knew this was gonna happen for the last few weeks, and we've just been waiting for it to be officially announced. It has been officially announced now, and we'll go through the announcement itself and some other things surrounding this appointment. And then obviously we can kind of talk about the manager a little bit, like we did last time. Let me just check my stream as always, see if everything's going all right. Um, okay, that's all good. Boom. Need to pop my chat out. Pop out the chat. Right, cool. I don't think this is going to be a particularly big stream either. I think this is probably going to be quite small, considering there's not much for us to cover that I haven't already covered in the past. But yeah, I'm gonna switch over to this screen if I can get it up. Wait one sec. Need to switch to this screen. There we go. And my logo's gone. Where's my logo gone? There we go. So yeah, we've got two little news stories here on the official website that I'm going to kind of go through. Obviously, the first one is this club statement, and we'll go from here. It says Enzo Maresca to become Chelsea men's head coach. This was announced quite a long time ago. Actually, I was a bit late to the news, admittedly, like I was last time, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it says here, Chelsea Football Club is delighted to announce the appointment of Enzo Maresca as new head coach of the men's team. The Italian will begin his role on July 1st, 2024 on a 5-year contract with a club option of a further year. This is a big thing. Obviously, we get a date here for when he's actually going to start, which is 1st of July, which is about a month from now. But this is the big thing, is that we've signed him on a 5-year deal with an option to extend that to a 6-year deal. And I think it kind of shows the intent of what we're kind of going for here with this appointment, is that this isn't just going to be a short-term thing. I think this is this is a statement of intent from the board that we are now going to be trying to build a dynasty. And I spoke about this before with Pochettino, that I felt like when Poch got appointed, it never really felt like that was kind of for the same situation as it is now. I always felt like Poch was the coach that was going to get us from A to B, but not A to C. And I think we have gotten to B with Poch, and I think it's now time for us to go from B to C with Enzo Maresca. Do you think someone's just asked if I think he's better than Poch? I do think he's better than Poch. Is in terms of his philosophy, I think he's better than Poch. Obviously, he hasn't proven that yet, and we'll have to see if he can do that. But he's got all the tools as a manager that I would think would suit our squad the best. And I don't think that Poch's style of football really suited our team, and it kind of goes to show that Conor Gallagher was one of our better players, because he was basically the only player in our squad that suited that chaotic, intensely working type of football rather than a technical possession-based style like Maresca will employ. Let's continue on here. Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstonley, Chelsea's co-sporting directors, said, "We are delighted to welcome Enzo to Chelsea. He has proven himself to be an excellent coach, capable of delivering impressive results with an exciting and identifiable style." That's interesting. That's an interesting thing that they call that out. Enzo has deeply impressed us in our discussions leading up to his appointment. His ambitions and work ethic align with those of the club. We thoroughly look forward to working with him. And then we get this this aura graphic. Chelsea's ownership group said, "We are thrilled to welcome Enzo into the Chelsea family. We look forward to supporting him and the rest of the sporting team in fulfilling their potential and our expectations over the years to come. He's a highly gifted coach and a leader that we are confident can help fulfill our vision and competitive goals for the club." Maresca said, and this is quoting the man himself, "To join Chelsea, one of the biggest clubs in the world, is a dream for any coach. It is why I'm so excited by this opportunity. I look forward to working with a very talented group of players and staff to develop a team that continues the club's tradition of success and makes our fans proud." Oh, and we've got a big graphic of all of his accolades as a player and as a manager here. So, pretty good. And we've got some more here. It says, after spells on the coaching staff of Ascoli, Sevilla and West Ham United, Enzo took charge of Manchester City's elite development squad, in August 2020 and guided them to a 2021 Premier League 2 title. After a stint with Parma and another as assistant coach at Man City, Enzo was appointed head coach at Leicester City in June 2023. The 44-year-old guided the club to the EFL Championship title and promotion back to the Premier League in his first season in charge. Enzo's staff will include former Chelsea goalkeeper Willy Caballero, Danny Walker, Michele Di Bernardine, Marcos Alvarez, Javi Molina, and Roberto Vitiello. Ben Roberts will join the staff as goalkeeper coach and has been appointed to the role of head of global goalkeeping. We're also delighted to confirm the appointment of Bernardo Cueva, who will lead the set piece department. This is good because we've actually got a confirmation here, because we knew that this was going to happen, but we never actually got an official confirmation of it. Now we actually have. Bernardo Cueva, who obviously is coming in from Brentford, is going to be leading our set pieces, which is good because that is a major hole, a major hole that we had in our defensive, in our defense, was that we were conceding so many bad opportunities and conceding so many goals to set pieces. So hopefully we can improve in that way. Yeah, I truly do believe that Enzo is the right fit. And obviously it says, welcome to Chelsea, Enzo. I didn't read that bit out. I do think that Enzo is kind of the right fit for us, because his style and his philosophy of how to play football, I think, aligns better with what the board and the recruitment have kind of been doing, in the fact that we are buying and investing in young talents that are suited to possession-based football. And I never think, as I said a little bit earlier, I don't think Poch ever had that identity and that kind of style of playing possession-based football. He was always going to be a transitional type of coach, and I do think that Enzo is going to really like push on and actually show why him and Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta, these types of coaches that use this style, have been going to the top of modern football. Obviously, he plays that inverted fullback style, and we've been seeing that recently from those two as well. And that's been very successful for them, so hopefully it could be successful for us. Obviously, we'll just have to wait and see. We've also got this as well, so that's fun. The thing which is funny is I was going to talk about the staff separately, but then they actually had that bit at the end there, so I didn't have to. This is just another interesting thing. Enzo Maresca's inspirational journey to becoming Chelsea head coach, and this is an hour ago. One of football's brightest managerial talents, Enzo Maresca has joined the Blues following a hugely successful spell at Leicester City, during which footballing philosophy, tactical nous, and management style were widely praised from all corners of the game, with his grounding in the sport coming from his native Italy, and his many inspirations from the world of management during his playing career and beyond, including Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, Marcelo Lippi, and Manuel Pellegrini. It's no surprise the 44-year-old turned his attention to coaching after a playing career that spanned 2 decades. This is interesting. They actually mention Carlo here, because I did want to mention as well, I think it's kind of Chelsea heritage at this point, that Italian managers and Chelsea just go together like peanut butter and jelly. Like, genuinely, they're such a match made in heaven, and pretty much all of our previous Italian head coaches have had some success with us, so I feel like it will continue. It was a period that saw Maresca share dressing rooms and line up alongside icons such as Zinedine Zidane, if I could speak, that'd be great. Gianluigi Buffon, Pavel Nedved, and Alessandro Del Piero, with the former midfielder playing an integral role from the middle of the park. I should have zoomed this in because I'm absolutely blind and I can't read. Obviously, it's the old Juve team with Antonio Conte. Donning the famous club colours of Juve, Fiorentina and Sevilla, to name 3, the playmaker helped orchestrate his respective sides' transition from defence to attack and won silverware along the way. However, it would all begin amid the unlikely backdrop of the West Midlands. He made his professional debut at West Bromwich Albion, far-flung from his days in AC Milan's academy, giving the Italian a rare insight into the English game at a young age. That is something that is important, and I think that is it's interesting that they've pointed this out, that the writers have pointed this out, because that is actually a very important thing, is that he obviously comes from a different country where the style of football is different, but having that insight into English football so early, and he just makes him adapt to English game way better, and not only as a player but also as a coach now. And I think that understanding, that prerequisite of having that understanding, is another reason why I think he's going to be up to speed with how the Premier League works in a way. And obviously the Premier League back then and the Premier League now are vastly different, but there is still some merit to that. The ruthless aggression of the English second tier in the late 1990s gave Maresca a footballing education like no other, with his progression at the Hawthorns handing him the chance to move back to Italy with Juventus at the turn of the century. It was an opportunity he couldn't refuse, describing it as a dream move. Securing the Scudetto at Juve would be his first taste of silverware, with the Italian personally crediting the old lady for bestowing him with a winning mentality. It's nice seeing all these old pictures, it's fun. In search of satisfying that feeling, he eventually followed that triumph with back-to-back UEFA Cups at Sevilla, scoring twice in 7 minutes during the first final. He would also scoop the Copa del Rey, and even a memorable UEFA Super Cup victory over Barcelona in 2006 as part of the squad. Spells at Olympiacos and Malaga would follow, securing Champions League qualification with the latter for the first time in the club's history. Our new head coach also notched a vital goal for Palermo to save them from relegation, before hanging up his boots at Hellas Verona. I'm gonna keep pronouncing things in the Spanish way because that's the way my brain is wired. Hellas Verona. That's so silly. His plethora of experience within the game would always lend well to a career in management, and after brief coaching spells with Ascoli and Sevilla, a young head coach would waste no time earning his managerial stripes under the guidance of former Malaga boss Pellegrini at West Ham. A year and a half as assistant manager in East London led to an opportunity with Manchester City's elite development squad, where he would become the boss, nurturing many promising youngsters, including current Chelsea stars Cole Palmer and Romeo Lavia. This is a big thing as well. Obviously, he's got some familiarity with some of the players in the squad already, obviously Palmer and Lavia being the two that they've pointed out there. But the thing which I think is interesting is the fact that because he was an old youth coach, I think he will be more in touch with that pathway from the developmental squad or the youth team, under 21s, under 18s, whatever you want to call them, into the first team, and I think that he will have a good eye, hopefully, for our promising youngsters that can be brought into the team. And obviously it's a thing which we kind of got on Poch's back for in the last season that just went by, that he didn't trust our youth players very well, enough. They only really got a few cameos in the cup. No one really got an extended period. The only player that really broke through this year was Alfie Gilchrist, and to be honest, not to sound horrible, but I don't think Alfie Gilchrist is the best of our academy that we could have brought out. Obviously, we saw a brief stint for Josh Goffia-Chempong, who I think should be integrated into this team, and definitely can be. We've obviously got Leo Castledine, players like that. We've got Golding as well, Jimmy Toriainen. A lot of players in our youth academy are very talented, and I do think we'll, hopefully with the extra football that we're going to be playing this season, because obviously we've got UEFA Conference League games and we've got 2 cups to play in as well, hopefully they can actually get some minutes and actually play, and he'll be able to recognise that talent rather than leave them to rot in the academy, or rot on the bench as most of them did, especially with our injury record. If our injury record continues, then yeah, I would hope that a lot of those guys would get some minutes. And yeah, we've got this again. He got a 67% win rate. That's actually kind of crazy. Maresca led the Sky Blues to their first ever Premier League 2 trophy while implementing his style of play and football vision. After a period as head coach at Parma back in Italy, Maresca returned to England, but this time under the tutelage of Guardiola as part of Manchester City's backroom staff. As one of the Spaniards' assistant managers, Enzo helped oversee a historic treble as they secured the Premier League, UEFA Champions League and the FA Cup. His most recent managerial venture would be with the Foxes, taking the reins of former Premier League champions in the summer of 2023. Catching the eye of many up and down the football pyramid, Enzo secured Leicester City's return to the top flight at the first time of asking, winning the championship with 97 points and being named Manager of the Month on 4 separate occasions throughout the 2023-2024 campaign. What more can we say? I mean, it's a really, really exciting appointment, and I'm actually just going to leave this on the screen. It's a really, really exciting appointment to me. Why is it cut off? That's annoying. And I think that, as I mentioned before, I feel like this is a real turning point at Chelsea. This feels very monumental to me. And sometimes you do just get that gut feeling about managers. And I spoke about this before. I didn't really mention it on the channel very much. because I didn't want to seem biased. But I did have this weird feeling when we signed Poch, even though I was excited to see Poch sign for us and for us to basically just be free from Graham Potter and that terrible football that we played the season before. I did have my doubts over Pochettino, and I did have that kind of that thing in the back of my head saying he's not used to winning, whereas I feel like Enzo is used to winning. And I feel like we have this situation now where we've got a brand new start, we've brought up all of these new players, they've all settled into the team now. I feel like this is an opportunity for us to really push on and actually get back up to where we deserve to be, where we belong, which is top 4 at a fucking minimum, and be winning trophies. I would expect, and I would be very harsh here, and I will lay out my expectations for Enzo. I would expect us to be top 4 this season coming up, and I would expect us to at least win the UEFA Conference League. I genuinely, looking at the list of teams that are in that competition, there is not a single team in that competition that can hold a candle to us, and if we don't absolutely just rinse that competition, I will be genuinely disappointed. I think that's such an easy trophy for us to win. I know obviously we've seen in recent times teams like Aston Villa falter and not be able to win that, despite being way better than some of the teams in that competition. But I don't think that we, especially with this possession-based style we're going to be playing, I don't think that that's a thing that will happen with us. But yeah, it's just exciting news. And I said, this was never going to be a long stream. I just wanted to update on the news. I said, it's my expectation, and I said, maybe I'm being harsh by saying I think top 4. I think the thing is, we got 5 points off of top 4 this season, which is kind of crazy. I believe. I think it was 5. Let me check. I don't want to misquote. I don't want to misquote that just in case I am wrong. But I'm pretty sure we got 5 points off of top 4. Yeah, we did. We got 5 points off of top 4 and plus 1 goal difference this season. And to be honest, that's only 2 wins. And in the situation, obviously, we had draws against teams that we shouldn't be drawing to. We lost against teams that we shouldn't be losing to this season. With a coach that is genuinely tactically good and has a very developed style, I think we should be able to improve. I don't think we should be going backwards from here. If we somehow go backwards, I will be absolutely shocked, especially considering the amount of talent that we've got. Obviously, with Wesley Fofana rumoured to be coming back, we've got Enzo coming back after he's been playing with an injury for 8 months. We've got Nkunku coming back. We've got obviously possible signings of Tosin, of Michael Elise. That might be a thing we go for. Somerville might be coming in. We've got a lot of promising, just uplifting things that are happening, and I feel like, as I said, I don't know if you guys feel this, and you could let me know in the comments or in the live chat as this is being streamed, but it feels to me like I just have this really weird sense of optimism and this weird sense of like, this is a new beginning and this is where we really kick on, because I didn't really get that last year. It kind of felt like hopefully Poch can steady the ship and we don't go plummeting down the table. And I think Poch did do that, to his credit, in a way, in his own special way, but now it feels like we are actually starting again. Now it feels like we can actually go ahead with Enzo, make ourselves a dynasty, and obviously he's got a 5, possibly 6-year contract to fulfill. And yeah, he's going to be starting on July 1st, so about a month from now, which I'm assuming is like the start of preseason. Obviously, we've already seen some reports that have come out in terms of him stopping certain players going to the Olympics, which is very interesting because it shows kind of who he's been keeping an eye on, who he wants at preseason and who he doesn't, because he has not allowed Malo Gusto to go to the Olympics, which means that he's in his plans. However, he has let Leslie Ugochukwu go to the French team for the Olympics, which means that he's probably not in his plans. Obviously, the big one is his namesake, Enzo Fernandez, has been blocked from going to the Argentinian national team Olympics. Obviously, he's going to be playing in the South American Cup, but he's not allowed to go to the Olympics, which means that obviously for preseason he is going to be important. And I kind of spoke about this in the previous video that I made, how important that I feel he is going to be, Enzo Fernandez is going to be in this team. I think Enzo Maresca has kind of already alluded to the fact that he's going to be a big part, and hopefully after he's gotten over this massive hernia issue, he won't have to be playing through pain for 8 months of the season, and we'll actually see the best of Enzo that we've kind of been waiting to see. And we'll have to see however Maresca actually decides to play him. But yeah, I'm just going to quickly check. I'm checking the news just in case anything else is coming out. Just in case I've missed anything. I don't think I have. But yeah, there's some interesting things. I do want to talk about a little bit about the staff. Obviously, we saw that Willy Caballero is coming back as assistant manager, which I think is really, really class. He has the opportunity to get his hands on all three European trophies, which I think would be really funny. We obviously, as I mentioned before, Bernardo Cueva is coming, which hopefully will sort out our set piece issues. But yeah, and the kind of overhaul, not just and I want to kind of talk about the stuff because of this, is that I was talking about that feeling of a brand new beginning type of thing. And that overhaul of the staff that we have made, and basically getting in so many coaches. I think there's like 8 names on the coach list of who we've brought in. I think it's just really exciting times. It's just really exciting times. Obviously, we'll have to wait when he comes in on July 1st to see where we go from there. But yeah, this was just a quick impromptu stream. I'm going to check off as usual. I'll leave you guys to your evenings, and obviously I'll be still talking in the community page rather, and on Twitter, obviously. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, and I don't know when the next video will be. I've been aiming to do 2 videos a week in pre-season or off-season at the moment. I'll do 1 midweek this week and then 1 on the weekend, which is kind of what I've been doing, so expect something between now and Thursday, I would imagine. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out in the live chat, and everyone who is watching this video on the replay, if you are. Yeah, and I'll sign off. I'm not going to do my usual outro. I would usually have my usual outro. I don't have it here, but yeah, I'll just sign off now. Cheers for hanging out, everyone.